I don't really know how the filming of this video is going to go because I'm trying out filming with my back camera instead of my front camera, which, you know, should be a no-brainer, but I don't like not being able to see the viewfinder, and it's a phone, so there's no viewfinder on the back. So I just kind of have to trust that, like, everything's fine and I'm in frame and in focus and whatever else. But yeah, we're gonna try. So hopefully framing is good. I think I'm just gonna hold the phone for part of it and I don't know, just hope it works out. So fingers crossed for me. Anyway, the video. What is the video? Glad you asked. I'm going to be going through my shelves and pulling out all of the books that I have not read. So this is going to be a current physical TBR video, which I've been seeing a couple people doing these, and it's kind of inspiring because I know that I have like a massive physical TBR, and it'll be really nice to see all of those books like in one spot instead of like browsing the shelves. And also it will hopefully help me to figure out what I want to read next. I'm trying to cut down my physical TBR, so I haven't been buying books this summer. I did bring 1 or 2 home from the little free library in the area, but I haven't bought any, even though I want to. There are some that I really want to get, but I'm like, no, I need to read more first. So I'm going to see how many I have and then figure out what my goal is for the end of the year to have them read, you know, how many I have read by then, and also how many I need to get down to before I can buy myself new books. So we'll figure all that out at the end of the video. Yeah, it might be a long one, so buckle up. Let's get straight to it. I'm going to start with the shelf behind me. So this is also kind of like a mini shelf tour without being an official shelf tour. And especially because I don't have all of my shelves yet, I'm hoping to build some floating ones for my walls because I still have like a bunch of school books and Victorian novels and like other historical novels that I don't have space for on my shelves. So this is kind of an unofficial shelf tour, which hopefully will be kind of fun. So this should be fairly easy. Okay, so I'm ignoring this part of the shelf, all of these, because this is all like nonfiction, Christian, religious type books. And I've read a lot of them. I have not read all of them, but I'm not going to include them in this video. This is just going to be physical TBR for fiction, and then maybe 1 or 2 nonfiction, but not like religious self-help type books. So moving on from that, I've decided not to do that. Okay, I've read all of my Richard Russo. I read The Resurrectionist and the Scribe. I have not read Smoke Gets in Your Eye. And this is nonfiction, but it's not like self-help, spiritual, whatever. So I'm going to add that one. All Over But the Shouting and Serena have not read. This is a collection of short stories. Okay, I either need to read this or get rid of it, so we'll take that down. Oh my gosh, Italian Neighbors. I just need to finish this book. What? I am definitely farther through it than that. Oh, my bookmark fell out. That's terrible. I have no idea where I am. Okay, but I do need to finish that. In the Sanctuary of Outcasts, I read, what is this? The White Company. I don't even know if I want this, but okay, that counts. Have not read this one, but it's in German, so we're not going to worry about that. I don't speak German. Poems, I don't care. Poetry books are staying up here. Okay, let me get to this shelf, which I hope that you can see. If you can't, I'm sorry. I apologize. These are some, like, mythology books that I don't really care about. We're not going to worry about that, like religion, mythology. I do want to read The Oedipus Cycle. I read some of it. I didn't finish it. I want to read that. Okay, I also have the Aeneid and the Iliad and the Odyssey on here. I'm going to leave them on here just because they're chunky and I don't feel like dealing with that, but I would like to read those at some point. They're just not high up on my list, but those are included. I'm just not including them. Shakespeare. Let's do bit by bit. Did I read that? Okay, so I have Sonnets and Lovers' Complaints, which counts as poetry. I'm not worried about that. Macbeth, I read. The Tempest, I read. Julius Caesar, I've read, but it's been a while. That's kind of on my TBR, but not really, because I did read it in high school. Romeo and Juliet, I've read. Another copy of Macbeth. Okay, so I have not read King Lear. Have not read Henry IV. Read Midsummer Night's Dream and Othello, which I really want to read Othello. I love that one. Have read Jane Butcher. Cat. Jack London. This one. Oh my gosh, there's so many short stories. I'm leaving on here. Okay. Okay, American vs. Stevenson, which is a collection. I'm not taking that down. Treasure Island, I've read. Capture the Treasure Island. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I've read. Kidnapped, and then I've read that. Okay, now I'm going to take you down so you can see the shelf, because I'm pretty sure you can't see this one down here. Okay, so there we go. Most of these, also, wow, the lighting is bad. My bad. I'm not worrying about most of these either because these are all like writing books that I've read. If there are any that I have not, I might take those out. I haven't read all of Flannery O'Connor's short stories, but I really don't love her. So that's not high on my list either. I have read this, have read Thrill Me, have read Bird by Bird, need to reread that, have read On Writing and Big Magic and Dime Store, Shop Class's Soulcraft. Have read The Great Gatsby. No, but it's you know, a help book, kind of. What is this? I don't even know. Constructive theme writing. Okay, that's another writing help book. So that's gonna stay here. We don't care. Sorry, that's terrible. Not taking this one down. I don't even know what it is. I'm not taking that down. Have read. Millie's Boy, Winter the Whale, Jube. Poems, don't care. History of Graphic Design. Ooh, this one I have not read, and my sister is currently reading this. We'll take that down. Okay, Little Women, Little Men, and Joe's Boys have not read. And then those don't count. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. I have read most of these, which is nice. I also have these up here, but I have read those. These are duplicates, and then those are special editions that I'm not going to read. So let's move on to my other shelf. I have to set up the camera and figure all of that out. So I'll be back. Maybe I'll do my romance shelf next and look at that and see what's on there. So let's move on to the romance shelf, and then we'll get to my big shelf. So yeah, let's go. These are going to be such a pain to get back up here, but that's okay. Have not read Me Before You or Me After You. Have not read this series. Okay, that's terrifying. Yes. Have read Emergency Contact. Have not read these three. How's this framing, by the way? Isn't this great? Have read all three of these. Oh, my poor plant. I'm sorry, baby. Okay. Have read all those. Yes, 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 yes. No, no, no. Now we need to move Boba and Tink. Scary, scary, scary. Okay. And I have not read any of these. Wow. Okay, so that's about half, maybe. I don't know. That's not great. I think that this is okay and that you can see me. It's probably really dark over here. This is my overflow shelf. I also have overflow on top of my shelf that we'll get to in a second. But I'm going to go through this. Okay, Count of Monte Cristo. Have not read. Not read that one. I'm going to put all these back. Have not read those. Oh my gosh. That's a no. Okay, so I did read Julius here. I did read this one. Have not read this one. I keep some of that in mystery. Have read Frankenstein. I got this one from my sister actually, but I should probably read it first. I did read MASH. Have not read that. Okay, have not read. Did read Lord of Lies. Did I read this one? Which one did I read? Okay, I ran back to this because I think this is the one I read. No, I didn't. Okay, so I have not read Lord of Lies. I read Jane Eyre. I could not remember. Okay. No. No, no. No. Yes, yes. Okay, and I have an extra copy of Frankenstein and Moby Dick, which I have read. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Okay, so here's Jane Eyre, which I have read. And then I have Old Near House and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, Mysteries of Yellow, Embers, and the Old English Turn, which I read all those for school. So, oh, and I read the Scarlet Letter. Okay, so that's not terrible. That's also like 50%. Let's move on to the overflow above my shelves. Okay, so this is the rest of the overflow. This is why I need more shelves. We're not going to worry about these. I have read a lot of these, but these are all the children's books that I just have for like reading to nieces and nephews and to my own children someday. Don't worry about those. Okay, have not read any. Actually, you know what? I haven't read any of these. Oh, except for Find Your Mantra. I did, so I'll take that one out. And poetry doesn't matter. But I'll move those. What have I read over here? Not going to worry about this. Probably not going to worry about these. Yeah, so I'm not going to worry about any of these. I have read Treasure Island and I have read Kidnapped. So, which these need to go with Stevenson. I just don't have space. But yeah, these don't matter. We're not going to worry about those. So I'm going to get them out of the way and set up my camera, and we will look at this shelf, which is the last of the books. The framing of this is not great, and my tripod is not tall enough or strong enough to do any better. I apologize. But I think you can see these 4 shelves, so we're just going to go through those really quickly. I'm going to start over here with what I have read. So I haven't read Demigods and Magicians, but I'm not really worried about it. And I haven't read these graphic novels. They're Percy Jackson graphic novels, but that's because I don't have the... Oh, I do have the first one. So I don't have the last one. So I'm not going to read those right now until I get all of them. But I have read all of these. Haven't read Greek Gods, but I'm not worried about that. So these are good. Last Olympian, these are just extras. Haven't read this, but I don't have the first 2 books, so I'm not going to worry about that. Did read To Kill a Kingdom, did read Given to the Sea. Have not read these 2. Have read Dawn of Fire King. Oh, I should start down there. That's good. Have not read this one. Did read Master Commander. Have not read these because I don't have the second, third book. Which one am I missing? The third book. I don't have Eclipse. I do have Twilight. My niece currently has that. She's bedazzling it for me, so that's exciting. How are those? Have read all of these. Awesome, can read those there. Okay, I haven't read any of these. Do I take them down, put them down there? Oh, yeah. I don't think so. Excuse me? Well, okay, yes, I should do this. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. They're still in the plastic wrap from when I bought them. That's insane. That's terrible. Have read Japan. Have read Joe Biden. Okay, here we go. Have not read this or these two. Do I really care about reading cons? No. Why do I have it? I don't know. Good to tell you. Okay, have read Both Lucy and King. Have not read this. Have read 1984, Brave New World, and Bloodchild. Bloodchild was weird. All three of these are weird. This is probably my favorite. These two are just weird. Okay, this shelf. This is a piece of me, which I have read. I have read Prey. Oh gosh, this is just my shelf. Have not read these. Why do people do this? This video? Why do they do this? You know they have to put all the books back on the shelf at some point? Like, that's exhausting. This one. Part of the have read. Don't have to buy 2 copies. I can't figure out which one to get. Okay, if I can get the books. Here we go. Haven't read those. Have not read these. Okay. I have read The Pleasure of My Company. I loved this book. This is so good, and it's so short. This is just a really fun read. So good. Okay, and I have not read any of these. Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's not looking promising. That's really bad. I know at some point we'll get to a shelf where I have read most of them. That's coming up, actually. But no, this is terrible. So we're going to move on to the next 4 shelves. Okay, so now I should be able to see these 4 shelves. This shelf is going to be my redemption. I have read all 3 of these. I did read Lake of the Woods, The Road, The Book Thief, Jaws, They're There. Here's the Underdogs I wrote, by the way. Shameless plug. Yeah, this is my book. You can get it on Amazon. Have not read Bound. Did read Abort. Did read all of these poems. Like a Feather, Unanswered Questions, Untouchable. These 3 and this one are by authors that I know from Instagram or some other capacity. Self-published. Very good. Have to get the next few books in the Untouchable series. I loved this one. I just haven't gotten them yet. But that's for when we've read all the books on my Physical TBR. But yes, definitely recommend these. This is also, I believe, self-published. Very good. Have not read this. Did read these 3. These 2 are by the same author. Very good. Very good. These are also Instagram authors that I know. And Ruby Gates is a fantastic artist. She's done some art for some of my works in progress. And they're very, very good. She also did some art for Here's the Underdogs, and oh my gosh, so good. Yes, I've read both of these. I've read Darling Girl, have not read this one. Okay, that's not bad. Oh my gosh, only 3 books on that shelf that I have not read. So that's my redemption right there. That's the only redemption I have. Okay, have not read this. Did read all my Williams books. Have not read any of these. Also have not read any of these. I already know. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Next shelf. No and no. Have read Good Omens. Love this book. I've read it twice. No to these. Have read The Illustrated Man. No to these. And this one. Loved Rebel Nation and Viral Nation. They are 2 books of what was supposed to be a trilogy, and it never got a 3rd book, and I'm so mad about it. But I love these. Oh my gosh, I haven't read this one yet. Did read Shadow Scorpion. Did read New Eden. Haven't read these 2. Oh my gosh, I did read this one. Very strange book. Very strange. Feels like a fever dream. And have not read these. I did read The Old Drift. This is magical realism, and it was the first magical realism that I read. It was very interesting and very good. I liked that a lot. Okay, and then I also have this graphic novel, and I'm not including this because I need to get the rest of the series, so we're just not going to put this on there right now. Okay, I have read this one, but I have not read any of these. Ooh, there's so many freaking books. Yeah, I also have not read any of these. I did read Lore. Okay, I have read Lore. I have read the first Harry Potter book. That's it from those shelves. So these shelves killed me. This is embarrassing. This is so bad. Not to shame anybody else who also has this problem, because obviously I have a problem. But like, this is bad. This is really bad. So I'm going to get these books out of the way, and we'll look at the last 4 shelves, which I also don't have a lot of hope for. I'm just going to kneel here as I go through the rest of these. These are the last 4 shelves. We'll see how we do. Have not read. I did read these 3, obviously, and I read this one. This is the companion book. Favorite trilogy of all time, if you couldn't tell from the 3 full sets that I have. So good. have read this, have not because I'm missing one of the books, but I'll take it down anyway. And have not read any of these. I got really out of fantasy for a long time. I was enjoying it, loved these three, haven't read it since. Have not read this, but I have read all of these, and I have not, oh gosh. Okay, have not read that, but I have read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and then The Hunter's Moon, these four. Which I think there's a name for the series, I don't remember what it is, but I like these are pretty good. Okay, I'm going to leave these up here, because they're part of a series that I do not have. Haven't read those, Mortal Instruments. Oh yeah, these are both City of Bones. I don't know which one I'm keeping. And I did read this Golden Flame. So, this shelf is good. That's another redemption shelf for me. That's awesome. Have not read this. Did read, but I also forgot. Have not. Oh my gosh, have not read any of those. Wow. Okay. I did read Dear George, Dear Mary, which this could technically be up on my romance shelf, but I don't know. It's also historical fiction. No, I have read Wonder. Have not read these. Which, don't worry, I'm going to go through them all at the end, which is going to take so long. I should have just been going through them right now, but we're going to go through them at the end and tally them up. Okay, I did read Perks of Being a Wallflower, have read Off Trail, have not read these. Did read Kill the Boy Band, have not read these. Have read The Huntress of Thornbeck Forest and Eve, have not read Check. Did read Firecombe Manor. Sorry, it is Firecombe. Okay, that's all of them. So I'm going to give you a brief look at the books strewn about my floor, and then I'm going to try to set up and just go through them all. Okay, so here we have piles and piles and piles and piles, don't mind my slippers, and piles of books. And remember, at the end of this, I have to put them all back. Not looking forward to that. I didn't really keep them organized. I'm going to try to set up in front of this bookshelf here and go through them as quickly as possible. I've caved and I'm filming this with my selfie camera or front camera, whatever you want to call it, just so I can see what I'm doing. And I maybe should have organized the books, but you know, I don't have time for that. We're just going to go through them as fast as we can. So without further ado, let's go. We have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Aladdin and the Arabian Nights, The Little Mermaid, Greek Myths. Wow, the color on these is not showing up. My front camera sucks because there's like green in this and you can't even tell. That's awful. That's unfortunate. Aesop's Fables, Grimm's Fairy Tales, and Robin Hood. So those are all still in their like plastic and I haven't read them, and they're just like special editions that I got from somewhere. Are they like Barnes & Noble? Yeah, Barnes & Noble exclusive. So haven't read any of those. I'm going to tally as I go just so that it's easier. We have the rest of the Twilight series, which I don't have the, was it the third book? Yeah, I don't have Eclipse, so I have to get that one, but I do have these two. I've only read the first in the Harry Potter series, and I only have these other two. So we have Goblet of Fire and The Half-Blood Prince. Obviously have not read them because I don't have the whole series. Cuckoo's Calling, Glass Sword, and War Storm, which are parts of a series, right? Yes, Red Queen. I do also have Red Queen somewhere. We'll get to that one. They're all next up, but I have Red Queen somewhere. We have Ready Player 2, Star Wars, The Crystal Star, and The Wind-Up Girl. So, have not read any of these. The Da Vinci Code, and Back to the Future, Peter Pan and the Starcatchers, and The Brightful Bearer. Bound, Fang and Four, Divergent, and Allegiant, which I'm missing books in the series, which is why I haven't read it yet. And Messenger. Those of you who are keeping track at home, that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was doing tallies. Tallies not the way to go. I'll just do math at the end. Okay, Magonia and Quiver. Tess of the Road, The Dictionary of Lost Words, and World Diver. So, try to show you those. Beta and Delta. An Arc of Caraval, or however you want to pronounce it. Aha! And here is Red Queen. I knew I had it. Tiz. The Unlikely Hitchhiker. Robin. The Yankee Years. Don't ask me why I picked that up. I don't know. Lake Wobegon Days. And then a book by Tom Hanks. I'll let you just read that. There you go. Here we get to my Michael Crichton. Timeline. The Andromeda Evolution. State of Fear. The Lost World. Next. Okay, those are my Michael Crichton that I haven't read. The Road to Oz and the Emerald City of Oz. My Edgar Allan Poe collection. Two more Michael Crichton, the Andromeda Strain and Sphere, which I knew I was missing a couple. 2 Years Before the Mast, Hannibal, Vampirates, and Bloody Jack. Jane Austen at Home, Don Quixote, Catch-22, The Grapes of Wrath, which I do actually, that might be close to next on my list. East of Eden, and the short stories of Jack London. The Oedipus Cycle, The White Company, Italian Neighbors, which I just need to finish. Chicken Soup for the College Soul, which is a bunch of short stories. Arena, All Over But the Shoutin', and Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. King Lear and Henry IV, and then Little Women, Little Men, and Joe's Boys. Anna Karenina. Oh, Tess of the Dubervilles, which I'm kind of interested to read because I read Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy, and I really loved it until the end, and then I absolutely hated it. So I want to give another one of his books a go. The Divine Comedy, Crime and Punishment, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Fall of the House of Usher and Other Tales by Edgar Allan Poe, which I probably could just get rid of, actually, since I have another Edgar Allan Poe, but we'll see. Wuthering Heights, and The Picture of Dorian Gray. Portrait of a Lady, Quartet in Autumn, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, Bridge in the Jungle, all the Mowgli stories, Les Miserables, which I want to read, but I'm so terrified of. This is so intimidating. And The Count of Monte Cristo, which I thought I had another copy of. My dad picked this one up at a thrift store thinking of me, and I kept it until I could see if I had another copy, and apparently I don't, so that's awesome. The Shack, Heartbreaker and Heartmender, Hadassah, The Lost Dog, The Barbizon Girl, oh no, just The Barbizon. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that, but The Barbizon, What She Left Behind, and The Plum Tree. 13 Reasons Why, The Ex-Wife Survival Guide, The Appeal. Okay, this is like an entire shelf right here, so we're gonna go through these really fast. Legend, Prodigy, I Am Number 4, The Eye of Mines, the entirety of the Maze Runner series, Fifth Wave, and The Last Star, A Princess of Mars, The Time Traveler's Wife, The Lost City of Z, The Return of Tarzan, Patch Jack, and Tentacles. For those of you only sort of keeping track at home, put in the comments how many you think we're up to and how many you think we'll get to by the end of the video. Put it down in the comments. Okay, we have like 4 more stacks. Netherland, Dust, Wanderers, Handling Sin, which was recommended to me by a professor, and I don't know how to take that. The Other Bolin Girl, All the Light We Cannot See, The Weight of Ink, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which my mom has read, but I have not read. 8 more, for those of you keeping track at home. Immigrant Montana. Just looks interesting. Because You'll Never Meet Me, Lucinderella, The Help, which I really should have read while I was in Mississippi. I literally went to Brent's Drugs, where they filmed some scenes from the movie, and I still have not read the book. We Are the Brennans, A Gentleman in Moscow, The Paris Library. Can we just appreciate for a moment how pretty that is? The colors are not showing up perfectly, but honestly, it's pretty close. Ghosts at a Watchman, which I don't have the first book, and Where the Crawdads Sing. Promise we're coming to the end of it. That's reassurance for me, by the way. Not for you. Girls of Paper and Fire, Shadows at Sunset, The Rise of the Worm Lord, Bones of the Dragon, Rage of the Dragon, King of Foxes, Brisinger, Aragon, Eldest. I don't know which one I'm missing. I don't remember the title of the other book. Dragon Rider, and Realm of Hope, which honestly I just got because look at these pages. Oh my gosh, you can't even tell. Well, okay, there's a picture somewhere on my Instagram. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're like all sparkly. The last books are my romance books, so I'm going to grab those and we'll go through that. And then I'll give you the full tally. I lied. We have a couple more before the romance books. So, The Indian in the Cupboard, and then I have The Magician's Nephew, The Silver Chair, 2 copies of The Last Battle, so I'm going to get rid of one of those. The Magician's Nephew again, 2 copies of that, and Prince Caspian. I thought I had so many more of the series than I do because I have duplicates. So we'll get rid of some of the duplicates. Evercrossed, The Karma Club, Dewey, Bridie and Finn, not Birdie and Finn, just how I always want to say it. Love Remains, To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, Always and Forever, Laura Jean, Before You and After Me, Watermelon, Before I Fall. Wow, can you see any of the books? You're welcome. A Bend in the Road, which is probably what I should be reading right now instead of what I am reading, The Wedding, and Romancing the Stone. Okay, and that's all of them, not including the books I'm currently reading. I will come back in a moment with the full tally. So place your bets right now. Last chance. Place your bets. How many books are on my physical TBR? Literally just almost forgot the tally immediately. Put it all into my phone calculator and then was like, wow, that's a lot. And then went back to the video and was like, wait a minute, how much was that? how many. But yeah, so that's my string of numbers. That's my total. 165. That's the total, not including the books I'm currently reading. So that is crazy. That is really, really crazy. I think I'm going to do what I've seen some other people do. I'm going to put all of the titles on little slips of paper and put them in like a jar or something and have a TBR jar. I've seen Katie's Reading doing this. I've seen a couple other people, I think, doing this. And I kind of really love it. And there are definitely times when I will just pick a book and read it because that's the book I want to read. But that'll be really helpful for the times that I'm just feeling overwhelmed and have no idea where I want to go next. I'm not going to include the books that are parts of series that I don't have in totality, but I will include the series that I have all of. So like The Maze Runner, I have all of those. I'm going to just put that whole series on a paper, and then if I pull that, I have to read The Maze Runner. I think I have all of Red Queen. I have to look up if it's just the trilogy and then there are extra books, like the prequels are just not unnecessary, but like they don't have to be part of the series, or like if they are part of the series, I might still put that on there just so that I see if I want to read it or not. Yeah, but that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go through all 165 of these books and write down all the titles. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. I'm gonna be so busy putting all of these back on the shelf where they go, because I don't even know where half of them go. I spent so long organizing my shelves one day, and I think I remember generally where all of them go, but definitely not fully. So that's gonna be really, really fun. I might try to like find a picture of my shelves or something and just match where everything goes. Anyway, okay. Thanks again for coming along on this journey. Do you have a crazy physical TBR like this also? Because I feel so crazy right now. This is so many books. I don't even know what to do with them. Look forward to a bunch of reading vlogs. I don't love filming and editing reading vlogs, but they're kind of fun, and I'm really hoping to get better at filming and editing them. So yeah, look forward to a lot of those as I try to cut down my TBR. Oh yeah, I was also going to figure out how many I want to have read. Realistically, by December, I want to have read like 10 more books because I have been pretty busy. So I probably won't even, maybe if I can get down to 150 by December and then down to like 100 by the end of next year. That's crazy. It'll take me like 4 years to get through all of these. Wow. I really don't need to be buying books, like, ever. That's a really sobering way to look at it. So I might just have to do a lot more reading, which I think this winter I'll have a lot of time to read. So that'll be really good. But some of these are really, really long. Some of them are really, really short, so I can knock them out quickly. Maybe I'll just try to knock out a couple small ones sometime soon. I'm also thinking that I maybe need to cull more books. So we'll see. I will revisit that in January. We'll see how many I've like pulled out of the TBR jar and just been like, no, I don't want to read those. Anytime that happens, those will go in their own special place, and maybe I will get rid of them at some point. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling here. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. This is going to be so much work to edit, so that would be really, really nice, really helpful. Let me know what your physical TBR looks like. Do you hoard books like this? Because it's kind of a problem. Leave a comment down below. If you've read any of these, let me know. What do you think I should read next? What are some that jumped out of you that like either you've read and you really like, or that you've heard about and you want to read? Let me know, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!